Hello and welcome to Food Safety Fridays. My name is Simon Timperley from the International Food Safety and Quality Network. And today I'm delighted to say we are joined by our very good friend in his new posh office, Vladimir Stachinsky.
Hello. Thank you for joining me and joining yourself into this beautiful webinar we are going to do on this beautiful Friday.
Yeah. So what we want to know today is that photo, that artwork on the wall next to Vladimir. What is it? And we'll take
Someone
a poll in
says,
the sidebar.
yeah, someone say it's a ham. Someone say it's a coffee. I say it's a watermelon. So let's see.
Yeah. Let's see what the
What
public
do you
decides.
think?
You tell us in the circle.
What
Yeah.
do you think? What
And
is it?
also,
What
when
is
you
it?
do that, yeah, and tell us where you're joining us from, because we
I'm
always
joining
like
from
to hear
Belgrade,
that.
from Serbia, Belgrade. It's a
It's like
beautiful
the
day,
Eurovision
Friday
Song Contest.
afternoon.
It's like the Eurovision Song Contest. I'm from the UK, representing the UK. So tell us where you're from. Everybody's welcome. I'm going to play the sponsors ads, and we'll be back in 2 short minutes for Vladimir's presentation. Wow, that was abrupt. Thanks to the sponsors. Vladimir is going to take the presentation. Thank you for saying. Nobody's actually said in the sidebar what the artwork is, but so anyway, it's still a mystery what that artwork is.
Let's leave it for the end. Okay, thank you very much, Simon, for introduction. Once again, I like when you do the introductions, yeah. And thank you all for joining us for today's webinar, where we are going to talk about really specific topic, and I honestly, I didn't expect that so many people will register for this webinar, because the topic is very, very specific. We are today talking about HQF certification for cleaning station, which is, I understand, completely new thing. So I know that you will definitely learn something new today, and you will definitely have the opportunity to use this in your facility already from Monday. And of course, you will have the contact with me and with the AMFIT to talk about future things that we can do together. So thank you very much, IFS Clan, and thank you very much, Simon, for having this topic here, and also for having the opportunity to share this with all of the food safety professionals all over the world. So today we are going to cover about hygiene, about quality standards, about transporting cleaning stations, and also we're going to talk about first starting what are the requirements of existing certification schemes. When we talk about certification schemes, first of all, the schemes that are recognized, or let's say benchmark and recognized globally, are part of the GFSI. And what GFSI is doing, Global Food Safety Initiative, GFSI is actually giving these technical equivalents and also a guidance document under which all other certification schemes are going in order to be recognized globally. Yeah. And inside of these benchmarking documents, inside of these technical equivalents, there are, of course, requirements that need to be also adjusted in other certification schemes. And under these general rules for transporting in the GFSI, you have the requirement saying that all containers and vehicles used for transportation in a way that could impact food safety shall be designed, constructed, and maintained to minimize food safety risks, and they shall be suitable for the intended purpose. So when you go to a definition over there in the GFSI, trying to understand what is considered under transport container, it is a vessel in which the product or raw materials is being placed or held during storage and distribution. Okay, so these are the requirements in the GFSI. But let's go and check what are the requirements in some other standards. And first of all, I wanted to start with Codex Alimentarius from the reason that this is, or the HCCP is the basics for all other standards. You know, the basic is the Codex Alimentarius, the basic is HCCP 2020, the last version from 2020. So in section 9, you have the requirement saying transportation. And what is there interesting that they are saying about the transportation? They are saying general that food should be adequately protected during transport. Okay, thank you very much. The type of conveyances or containers required depends on the nature of the food and the most appropriate conditions under which it should be transported. And further requirements are saying that this conveyances, that these bulk containers should be designed and constructed in a way that they do not contaminate foods, that they can be effectively cleaned, disinfected, dried, that they can do and permit effective separation. This could mean that you have one bulk container, for example, or a tank where you have a separation chambers, and in these chambers you have different types of products stored, you know, or transported. And then also what is important is to provide effective protection from any kind of contamination. This would mean that these bulk containers need to be designed in a way that they can be, of course, cleaned, and that there are no some specific places where dirt can come out, and that there are no potentials for physical hazards, etc. But also that there is no potentials for any cross-contamination in between the products, or in between, you know, dust and fumes, etc. Because this is mounted on a truck or a truck trailer, and you have, of course, the fumes, you have some oils, you have some compressors, etc. And of course, in case that you need a specific requirements for transporting of your product, then you have HCCP saying that this transport or this transporting unit can effectively maintain the temperature, humidity, atmosphere, etc. So additionally, I wanted to see what are further requirements, and they're saying, okay, when we talk about the transport, there is a requirement that containers for transporting food should be kept in an appropriate state of cleanliness, repair, and condition. Okay, and also should be designed and marked for food use and use only for that purposes. Okay, this means that if you are transporting your product, then or you are engaging some transporters to transport your products, you should be aware that they can transport it only in a transporting units that are marked for food use and that are approved for food use. Okay, so think about that. Yeah. So additionally, where the same conveyances or containers is used for transporting different foods or non-foods, there should be effective cleaning, and where necessary, disinfection and drying should take place between the loads. And then Codex of General Principles of Food Hygiene is saying, if you want to know more, go and check this in the Code of Hygienic Practice for the transport of food in bulk and semi-packed food. Okay, so I went there, I wanted to see, and this is really, really short document. It has like 19 pages or 6 pages, something like that. You know, it's very short. And over there, what is written, it says, dedicated transport, where appropriate, particularly bulk transport, containers and conveyances should be designed and marked for food use only and be used only for that purposes. So I will ask you a question. How often do you check the vehicles arriving to your location that you are loading or unloading? Are they labeled? Are they marked only for food use, and where they are marked? Yeah, we will talk later about this during the presentation. And then when we talk about the food transportation units, very interesting thing to think about. It's not just the design. It's not just the transporting unit look and the size and separated chambers, but also what is important is the consecutive transport, where we need to think about this. So about the potentials of cross-contamination in this consecutive transport. So if you are transporting one product, that is, for example, milk, powdered milk, you expect that the previous transports were also powdered milk. But what about the previous transport before this? Was it a powdered milk, or was it a powdered soy? What if it's soy? Then you have then potentially mixed allergen. And not to say that also with the same type of transport, you can transport the plastic granulate, which is used for the production of food packaging materials. So this could be also potential cross-contamination or cross-contact with the plastic fragments. Yeah? And then you don't know where it comes to your production, So these are the requirements there, but looking at these requirements, that's it, no more. That's just 6 pages of short requirements, no more details, etc. In previous several years, it was noted that hygiene of this transportation is problematic. And this is why all new standards of the GFSI decided to enter or to widen existing requirements or to add new requirements that are focusing on transport. So let's look at the FSSC 22000 that was published last year and is effective this year. This is version 6, and new requirements saying that if you are using transport tankers, you shall apply additionally to the clause 824 from the ISO 22000 that organizations that use tankers for transportation of their final product shall have a documented risk-based plan to address transport tank cleaning. Okay? It shall consider potential sources of cross-contamination and appropriate control measures, including cleaning validation, and measures shall be in place to assess cleanliness of the tanker at the point of reception of the empty tanker prior to loading. So you see now that FSSC entered or widened the requirement for the transport, storage, warehousing with additionally very specific thing that you need to do the risk analysis, risk-based, and understand what are the potential risks of transporting your finished product in a tank container, in a bulk or IBC container or whatever. But also they said for organizations receiving raw materials in tankers, which means that you are going to unload these raw materials, you also need to think about the supplier agreement as a minimum to ensure product safety and prevent cross-contamination. And you need to receive from these transporters or your suppliers tanker cleaning validation restrictions linked to prior use, and applicable control measures relevant to the product being transported. Okay, so these are the requirements. And good thing is that FSSC has also developed a guideline how you can do that, how you can check it, how you can, a little or additional explanation on the rules that you need to comply in order to have a safe transporting of your finished product, or to be safe and understand that the raw material delivered to you is safe. Okay. Then we go to the IFS Food version 8. This is also a version that was published last year and is active in this year. So everyone who are using IFS Food this year will be certified according to the new version. And in this new version, we also have updated requirement for transport, where it says that you need a risk-based hygiene requirements for all transport vehicles. So it is not only connected with the tanks, but it is also connected with the IBC containers, it is connected with the open bulk transport, with the refrigerated transport, etc. And you need to think about not just the risk-based hygiene requirements for transport vehicles, but also for the equipment that is used for loading, unloading, and also what measures taken needs to be recorded. Yeah. And then you need to think about the loading, unloading areas that are appropriate for their intended use. You need to do risk analysis, and etc. So if you have your own transport, you need to think about it. But if you are engaging external transport, then you need to think about it and put it also in the contracting rules. And when we talk about the risk of transport, everyone starts saying about IFS logistic. But the IFS logistic is focused on the standard for auditing logistical services in relation to product quality and safety, okay, which is great. But what actually is there in this IFS logistics saying about the transport containers? It says that if you're using these transport containers for the transportation of liquid, granular, and powdered unpacked products, then you need to think about the cleaning and disinfection measures, and the minimum, the cleaning and disinfection measures shall be appropriate. So you need to understand what means appropriate, because nobody explained what is appropriate. Then they say the cleaning and disinfection measures of the transport containers shall include all associated working equipment, hoses, valves, strainers, etc. But this is just a very, very, very short list. And then the cleaning disinfection measures shall ensure that the transport container is clean, that unwanted substances are removed from the surfaces. How you will know that? How you will understand that unwanted substances are removed, and the number of microorganisms are reduced to a level that is sufficiently low. How you will? What are the evidences that will show that that you lowered the microorganisms on an acceptable level? Who is doing the checking? Do you check that before loading? Maybe if you are a specific company, but yeah. So objective evidence shall be available for the control of cleaning and disinfection measures of transport containers, record certificates. But what is interesting there is, what are the evidences? I will please you to go, not tomorrow, but on Monday. You sit down and you check what are the evidences of cleaning. And I promise to you that these evidences are not showing to you anything. You will not find out what were the previous loads. You will not find out how long the cleaning was. You will not find out sometimes even where cleaning was performed. And definitely you will not find out what was specifically cleaned during this process and what were the programs of cleaning. Okay, so this is very interesting things that are mentioned here. But when we look at these GFSI certification schemes and we look at these standard requirements. Of course, they are focused on the production, they are focused on logistics, and they cannot make the whole standard just focused on hygiene of transport vehicles or rules for transport hygiene, etc. So they define just a part of rules regarding the transporting, and what they listed down is that you need to understand the intended use of the transport unit vehicle, you need to have a maintenance of the transport unit or the vehicle, labeling in some way, cleaning of transport unit, which means prevention of microbiological contamination and cross-contamination, additionally cleaning of transport unit and planning of transport to prevent allergen contamination and cross-contact. Also to think about the evidences of cleaning, food defense requirements, food fraud requirements, staff training, and external supplier of transport requirements, which needs to comply with all the previous requirements. So if you are having your transport, then you need to do the analysis for your own transport. And if you're engaging some external transport, then you need, of course, to put all of this in the contracting rules or the specification for ordering this specific transport. But all of the previous are not the certification of the service of cleaning of transport. Yeah. Of course, we have the IFS logistic. This is the service of transporting. This is the service of storage and warehousing, etc. And of course, because their scope is different, they cannot focus totally on transport. They are giving some of the rules, but not focusing totally. This is where we found the missing link, actually. And this missing link has led already to some of the biggest problems in the supply chain. And I'm sure when you look at this slide that you can remember these problems. These problems are linked actually to the transports. It's linked to the actually risks coming out from the transport, from potential not cleaning it sufficiently, not having the evidences, or even doing the fraudulent activities of having the evidences but not cleaning it. So having that in mind, that supply chain is really at risk, we wanted to show you here how you understand the supply chain. The supply chain, how we see it, how we talk about it, is very simple. We say it's a raw material, for example, wheat, that is transported to the primary production, which is mill. From mill, you mill it, you make it a flour, you transport it to the secondary production with the transport, and then you transport it as bread to the supermarket again with the transport. But in between of all of this in the supply chain, you have someone that we have forgotten, and it is a service in connection with the food safety, and it is the cleaning station. Okay? And it is the hygiene. It is the hygiene. When we see the HCCP, when we see all of these standards, they are saying a food business operator. So who is a food business operator? It is a producer, the person or the company doing the loading. It is the transporter doing the transporting of the product, and it is also the food business operator is a unloader, the next one in the supply chain. And all of them have some kind of responsibility regarding the product, because they are handling the product. But in connection with everything, you have the cleaning station, which is not registered. It's not listed as the food business operator. So we need to list this cleaning station. We need to have the rules for cleaning station, because your cleaning station can look like this. Are you aware how your cleaning station looks like? Yeah, try to visit one. Maybe you do a visiting from Monday and you plan with your transporter to visit one cleaning station. Go there, see how this cleaning station looks like. What is there in that cleaning station? For example, how your vehicles are cleaned before loading, with what equipment, what type of cleaning agents is used for cleaning. Who is doing the cleaning is very interesting question. You know, in some cases, the cleaning can be done by drivers. Yeah. And then while they are doing that, they can do additionally, you know, mixing of chemicals, food, widening of the molds, making additional foreign bodies, etc. And it all later, it all can be in your product. What is else there? Let's see, what about the food defense? You know, if the cleaning is done and you close down the tank, you close down the valves, and you put it, where do you put the seals? Do you put any seals? You know, let's ask that question. So I will give you one example. In a dairy, they are using external transport cisterns, and these cisterns are going every day to collect the milk. After they collect the milk, they deliver the milk, the cistern is emptied, and it goes to a cleaning. After cleaning, all of these drivers are driving these transport vehicles to their own home. And these transport vehicles are standing in front of the home until the morning, when they go again to the route and collect the milk. But these trucks are not protected anyhow after cleaning. They are clean, just closed, and that's it. What could happen during the night? Can someone open it, put something inside the transport tanks? You know, this is a big question. What about transporting your product? Do you seal it in order to protect it from any kind of tampering with the product? And of course, you will see here how the cleaning is done. You know, are they doing the sterilization? What kind of equipment they are using for cleaning, etc. This is the thing I mentioned, the seals, you know. And when we talk about the seals, there are still additional questions. You know, if they are using the seals, what are you checking? How many places are there to be sealed? Because it could happen that on a one tank you have 10 places to be sealed, but only 2 of them are sealed, you know, or 5 of them are sealed. What about the other places that could be open, contaminated, and have you ever checked these risks? Huh? And then coming to the documents, to the evidences. So this is just one example where cleaning was done in total for 3 minutes. You think it is very possible to clean the, you know, tank of 20 tons in 3 minutes? I think it's not possible. But this is, let's say, even a good document. I mean, looking nice document. What about the other documents that you are receiving as evidences? Or do you at least receive any document as evidence of cleaning? Because I know from my auditing experience last 10 years, when I audited companies, that these evidences of cleaning are just some kind of you know, documents of the transporting company done on a memo, where they say, yes, we have cleaned our vehicle and we cleaned it last day, and the previous 3 transport were this and that. And I have to trust it. You know, I have to trust in their documents. When we talk about the services in connection with the food safety, we talk about cleaning of transport vehicles, we talk about the units. And of course, the thing what is idea is that we have a cleaning stations that are part of the supply chain and that are food business operators. This means that we want this cleaning station to work according to defined rules, to have a defined program of cleaning, to have also some standardized requirements. And this is why MFIT defined a guideline for the cleaning stations and for the risks in transport. And if you contact me on LinkedIn, if you contact me on MFIT, I will leave later for you, of course, the email in contact. I can share with you this guideline. And additionally, what MFIT has developed is the certification scheme for the certification of the cleaning stations. And not just the cleaning stations for the tank vehicles, but also the cleaning stations for the cleaning of refrigerated, for the returnable, for the chemicals, and even the cleaning stations that are part of the factories. What is there actually as a requirement? This is a three-part certification. MFIT HQF certification is consisted from first part, which is audit questionnaire, with a lot of questions to be covered. And these are the requirements that are very specific, and I will show you what I mean under them. Then there is a part two, which is a technical inspection. We expect from the HQF auditors that are trained in previous years to go on site of the cleaning station to check and do the technical inspection, which means actually that these auditors will check the cleaning of vehicles and also how this cleaning station is respecting the rules for specified MFIT programs and procedures for cleaning. And then the part three is also that auditors will do the training validation and also the validation of cleaning with the specific sampling techniques. After audit is done, there is a total score based, of course, on the requirements and the fulfillment of these requirements. And based on this total score, there is a seal of approval given to the cleaning station. The basic quality cleaning means that this cleaning station satisfies the basic rules, have equipment sufficient, it is registered according to the legislation, etc., and it fulfilled the requirements to perform the cleaning procedures according to the guideline and also cleaning programs prescribed by MFIT. Then we have a high quality cleaning, and we have excellent quality cleaning, which is actually the best quality cleaning, the best fulfilled requirements in the cleaning station. Of course, everything is later on connected with a specific cleaning certificate that I will show you on next slides. But let's go a little bit through what these seals actually mean. When we look at the basic quality cleaning, it means that this cleaning station has a trained staff in hygiene and HCCP and cleaning. It is using MFIT cleaning programs. It is also using cleaning certificate as evidence of cleaning. Also check cleaning technology, mix cleaning lanes, food, feed, and chemicals, constant improvements, contract processing, MFIT, they are MFIT member, etc. But for the excellent quality cleaning, it means not just having the trained staff using MFIT cleaning certificates, etc. It also means that it has separate cleaning lane for food and feed, separate lane for chemicals. It has high QF requirements, fully meet and constant improvement, and it has a digital cleaning process documentation. Of course, that auditors will define during the audit what level of requirements is fulfilled. Interesting to mention is that MFIT HQF certification is based on a checklist and, of course, the questions in the checklist. Based on that, the evaluation or the percentage success is given at the end of the audit. But for each question, there is a scoring system, which means that it can be, of course, scored with incomplete or not carried out, which is 1, and of course fully available complete, which is scored with a 5. And the strictly rules are defined as knockout questions. Actually, in HQF certification, there are 12 knockout questions, and these are the critical criteria required for certification. If this is non-fulfillment, it leads to audit termination, and it means the certificate or the seal cannot be issued until this is, of course, corrected by the cleaning station. When we go through it shortly through the requirements of the MFIT HQF, I will not go through all of them. I will just show you just a simple peek to what could be interesting for you. There are requirements regarding the tank and container cleaning. There are, of course, requirements. Under group goes to quality and cleaning safety management system. There are resource management, service provision, cleaning facilities, measurement, analytics, and improvements, and cleaning safety, which means that we included, of course, the food defense and some external controls, inspections, etc. Shortly going into details, when you look under requirements of quality and cleaning safety management system, what is considered there? It is considered risk management and cleaning safety. Of course, HCCP doing the hazard analysis, which means that the cleaning station who wants to get certified needs to do the hazard analysis on a location to understand all potential risks and hazards coming from their processes of, cleaning the transport vehicles, but also all the processes happening in the cleaning station. Of course, there are requirements for the documentation that follows the whole process, instructions and records of the activities performed, handling of these records, and then goal and trend analysis, which is important for the cleaning station to improve their processes. Going further, when we talk about the requirement 4 under group 4, it's service provision, and it goes into more details. In these details, it is mentioned that the cleaning station general requirements, of course, operating instruction, which means cleaning procedures, and this I will show you on the next slides. Then responsibilities and specific designation of responsibilities for the driver and cleaning staff, cleaning document as a requirement and which information is provided on this specific cleaning document, and of course the traceability. This one is very interesting. When we talk about the food industry, we have the main requirement, which is the traceability. And with the traceability, we can track the raw materials that are entering into our production, what we produce, and of course the traceability of finished products, which means to whom we have delivered our finished product. But in this case, when we talk about a HQF certification, we have developed the requirement for the traceability of the service. Why we have developed that? Because if we want to understand more, in case that we have a compliant or that the cleaning station has a compliant that one vehicle was not cleaned adequately, then this cleaning station should be able to check through their documents and records that they are using the traceability of this cleaning, and to check if one operator was not trained sufficiently, maybe he didn't clean sufficiently some other vehicles, and then we need this traceability. Or if some equipment stopped working and didn't dosage sufficient cleaning agent, it could be that not just this vehicle that was complained is affected, but also it could be that other vehicles are affected. And then through the traceability, cleaning station should be able to designate this and to understand the risk for other transporters or the companies, and to inform them. So this is the first time actually defined as a requirement to have a traceability of service, of service activity. This is why this HQF certification and the process is very, very specific. And when I mentioned on a previous slide, coming back once again, operating instruction, cleaning procedures. When I said the cleaning stations and the supply chain, etc., the supply chain is not so simple. It could happen that you have a vehicle that is loaded with powdered milk in Germany or in Poland, transporting from Poland to Germany powdered milk, and then unloads in Germany, goes to a cleaning station in Germany, then loads maybe sugar, and then transport this sugar to Hungary, unloads the sugar in Hungary, goes to a cleaning station in Hungary, loads flour, transporting it again back to Poland, unloading, going to the cleaning station. So you see, actually the supply chain is pretty much complex, more complex than we realize. Looking at this cleaning station in 3 different countries, we came to understanding the same understanding in between all in the food industry, that there were no clear rules and clear programs how they should do the cleaning. That's why AMFIT developed their guideline and said, okay, now we will develop the programs, actual programs and procedures how you should clean, depending of course, viscosity of the product. And then we said, okay, P200 is for the low viscosity products. And if you are cleaning beverages, beer, citric acids, juices, etc., then your cleaning station should use the program P200. But in AMFIT, they went even further and said, okay, but there should be a specific cleanings. You know, if you are transporting next product which is kosher, you should have the kosher cleaning. What if you are transporting some products that are halal? Then you should have a specific program developed for halal. What if you transported allergens? Then you should have the specific programs for cleaning of allergens. And this was a big work to define all of these programs and procedures in AMFIT, but at the end, all cleaning station idea is to use these cleaning programs. And this is a cleaning code, AMFIT P200, and you see all the steps that needs to be fulfilled from the cleaning station. I will not go in too many details because I want to hear the questions from you and that we can discuss a little bit. But I will show you here that there are so many steps that you have to do properly in order to have a complete cleaning. And this is a minimum cleaning of 27 minutes. And then you see that there is a contamination risk. What you can do in 27 minutes. 58 minutes is something that is average. And if you are doing it, it means that, yeah, you can clean and you can have some safety. But 85 minutes is the maximum to prove that your cleaning was sufficient and of course good. That's why we have programs showing that AMFIT P200 Lite is from 27 to 47 minutes, showing what you can do in 47 minutes. And then medium, of course, and then high cleaning, it is up to 87 minutes. You see that it is quite different in activities, and it proves that you had a very sufficient activities in order to prove that now your vehicle is ready, your transporting area is ready and safe to be loaded with some materials that you are going to transport. Of course, on top of that, there is a part that is done by auditors. As I said, auditors are going to check these programs. So if you have 5 vehicles today in a cleaning station, the auditors will check how do you respect these programs, these timings, the steps in these programs, which means this technical check, you know, of the equipment that you're using, the air that you're using, the cleaning agents that you're using, etc. And of course, at the end, what will be done is the control of this cleanliness, and in this case, the control of the how the cleaning was performed, and was it sufficient, and was it okay. So there are also rules included in the HQF certification regarding the testing at the end and the validation of cleaning. Additionally, the cleaning station who are doing this validation, the auditor will check the records of these validations and check the trend analysis and how sufficient was all the cleanings in some time period, let's say of 3 months, 1 year, etc. At the end, the most important thing is the evidence of cleaning. For all the cleaning stations, the supporting thing for the AMFIT is a digital solution, and what AMFIT did is actually registered first cleaning certificate. And this is a form of a certificate and evidence that the cleaning was performed in a cleaning station that is approved according to the approved programs and procedures, and have done the specific cleaning like kosher or halal or allergen, etc. Why this cleaning certificate is specific? Because it's a first digital cleaning certificate. It is protected by a blockchain, and the data entered inside is are gotten from the software and from the cleaning stations, so there is no potential on changing this data or doing some tampering with this data or doing any kind of fraudulent activities. And this is actually further connected with each transport unit. So this is our international MFIT cleaning certificate. Important to mention that on each cleaning certificate you will get additional information that cleaning station is certified. So what is actually the idea? The idea is at the end that when you have on your reception the vehicle for loading, you have a specific GID number on your vehicle. This is unique identification number. You scan it and you get a digital certificate. This digital certificate containing all the information about where was the cleaning done, who performed the cleaning, which cleaning station, according to which program this cleaning was done, what were the previous 3 loads, 5 loads due to potential cross-contamination, understanding what happened, of course, the timing of cleaning, and all necessary data that really proves actually that the cleaning was done according to rules in a certified cleaning station. Of course, on this digital certificate, you will have the level of the cleaning station certification. And additionally, when we mention the seals, you will have the seals on the transporting unit. Let's say that you have 10 places of seals. In the digital certificate, you will have where are these places, what are the numbers of the seals, and even now we developed that these seals are also blockchain protected with the QR codes, etc. So it is not just the certification, but certification is done according to some rules for the cleaning station. There are trained auditors checking this. And of course, important thing for you is that there is a software behind it who supports the whole story that I've talked about. So we transformed complete the certification to be digital, and we transform the complete evidencing to be digital, which means that it is protected, no tampering, no fraudulent activities, and this is very important to understand how in future this will, of course, this will be handled. What are the next steps for near end? At the moment, we are doing the revision of the HQF certification scheme. We are doing the revision and issuing of the version 3, where we are going to include all kind of different requirements, and these requirements in order to be adjusted to the GFSI, because the basic idea is that HQF at the end becomes also be a GFSI benchmark. And for those who wants to know more, you can click and visit MFIT webpage. You can contact me through Simon, or you can contact me directly on LinkedIn. I'm very open to answer all of your questions. And of course, if you want to find out more, I will be more than happy to answer all of your questions. Coming back to the IFSQN, I want to announce that we are going to do the paid webinar soon. So if you want to register, Simon will share with you the registration link. You can register for next paid webinar, where we are going to talk about the practical food defense and food fraud training. And this will be connected with, of course, all the standards of the GFSI. We are going to talk about the requirements in the IFS, in the BRC, in the FSSC, SQF, etc., and how you can practically implement food defense and food fraud in your companies. So feel free to join. The webinar is very near. So yeah, see you there, and you can find it on the IFSCon webpage, but also it will be shared with you by Simon. And this is it. We came to an end of today's presentation. Now, what I can expect from you is to have your questions and answer gladly on your questions.
Yeah, thanks very much, Vlad, for excellent presentation as usual. We expect nothing less. Question from Desireth. where can we find the cleaning guidance?
You can go to the MFIT webpage, and on the web page you can find the cleaning guidance, programs, procedures, and I can share with you the cleaning guideline. If you send me an email on my email or directly on LinkedIn, I will gladly share it with you.
Okay, question from Alicia. Even if a transport company is not under a HQF auditing system, are they not still under FDA, FISMA, and audited by FDA?
Yeah, but it's a transport. It's not a cleaning station. So it's completely different scope. Yeah, okay. They can audit, the transporting rules, and this is like the IFS logistic, but they are transporting, they are auditing and checking the transport. Of course, they are checking some hygiene of the transport, but not the cleaning station, which is a different scope.
Okay. Kim was just asking, can you get a copy of the presentation? We always follow up afterwards with the recording slides and certificate, Kim. Yeah, so no problem. Just bear with us for an hour or two. Another question from Desireth. We are a warehousing and transportation company. We are going to get GFSI certification this year, SQF standard. Mm-hmm. Do we have to have a separate certification for cleaning?
So Desiree, and in SQF, you have the requirement for the transport. If you are using your transport for transporting of bulk products, or you are using external transport, SQF gave you the rules that you need to check the hygiene and also to have the evidences that these transport were cleaned. So first of all, the thing is to check which kind of evidence you are getting and what these evidences are showing to you. And additionally, you can do the risk analysis. If you have a trouble in understanding how you can do the risk analysis, please contact me on LinkedIn. I can share some inputs with you or also on my email, how you can do this risk analysis and to understand it better for the hygiene transport.
Okay. If you have a question, just put it in the sidebar. Just as a note, Vladimir mentioned on April the 16th, we're having a 4-hour training course led by Vladimir on TASUP, VASUP, practical food defense, TASUP, and food fraud, VASUP training. It's 4 hours and excellent content, and you get supporting documents with that as well. So $97 if you want to sign up for that. That's Tuesday, April the 16th for 4 hours. If you click that link, it'll open a new page you can have a look at later, or just watch out for the emails in your inbox. But it'd be nice to see some of you sign up for that training and join us. Okay, any more questions? We've got a few more minutes while we've got Vladimir here. So let's have a look. None at the moment, Vladimir.
No, everything was clear.
You must have just satisfied all the knowledge requirements of today, or bamboozled them one or two. But okay. No, joking aside, you're always available on LinkedIn, and we will include your email in the in the follow-up email that we circulate to everybody. So if you do think of a question either now or in the future, he's always available, Vladimir, and very helpful. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay. So if you have additional questions, you will get an email from Simon. You can contact me, and if you want to know more, let's talk about it.
Perfect. Right. A little shorter than usual, but thanks for your time today, Vladimir. Really appreciate it.
Thank you also.
Did we get to the bottom of that? Is that a ham on the wall? Is it a cup of coffee?
I was thinking, and just maybe it's an egg. Like the half of egg, but in some
egg.
Yeah.
This is art. It's different to everybody, isn't it?
Totally.
Okay. That's it. Just Anne said, thanks for an excellent webinar. So appreciate it, Vladimir. Have a great weekend.
Thank you also.
Everybody have a good weekend. And we'll
have a nice weekend and enjoy.
see you next week.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.